Okay, guys, I'm excited about this one. My boy Etienne asked me to do authentication, develop like how to authenticate users with Wized, Webflow, and Xano with Wized v2. So we're doing that today. Let me just show you. So we have this sign up page. I'm just going to go here to our dashboard so you guys can see. So we have this. Please redirect me. Okay, it's not taking me there. So let's just. Okay, cool. Now if I go here to my app, you can see we're not able to even see the content. We're just redirected automatically. So let me just first, before we continue here, let me just show you the complete functionality. We can sign up here, set our password. We have a loading state. We have as well an error message. Let me just show you. We'll sign up and we'll be authenticated. Now, obviously, I'm not rendering any data here. I'm just setting this up, logout button, and we're logged out. If I want to sign up again here, I'm going to set up my details, set up my password again. Obviously, I cannot sign up again because my user is already created, right? So I get this error message that you can set in Xano, you can set any message here. But let's just continue. Let's show you how this is set up, and I will reset the whole project in Wized. We will do it from scratch. So first of all, in Webflow, so what we have here is, let me just show you. First, let's start with the sign up page. So in the sign up page with Wized v2, we don't need to set an attribute to each field. We can just set an attribute to the whole form. So the form element in Webflow, please don't set it here to the wrapper of the form. Set it inside the first div block. This is the form HTML element. You need to set it up there. You will set up the attribute sign up form. Then after that, it's important that you set up the form name here. It needs to be descriptive now. I call it sign up form. And here as well, each field has a name because you're not setting an attribute to each input. So you need to set the name correctly. Make sure that it's descriptive again. I set it to be email. Here I set it to be password as well. You can set out the sign up form name here from here as well. Make sure that you have a descriptive name for the text field settings. Obviously as well, this is an email and this is a password, right? You need to set it up here too. Then for the button, we're adding an attribute here. The reason why is because we want to add a loading state to it. That's the only reason. We have a combo class. There's a video that I created for loading state for buttons. We have it class with is loading that show up these effects. That's pretty much it. And then we have an error message right here. So pretty much it's just no, this is not it. Here, text size tiny. This is the class, but whatever. If I just display this element, as you can see, we have an error message here that we will display if there is an error in this function. Obviously, we will change the style and as well the text inside in it. Inside of it. Let's just continue. So apart from that, on the on my dashboard page, we have, first of all, it's really important where all of the pages where you need to be authenticated. Make sure that you have it under a folder called app, dashboard, something like that. So you can just use a simple JS function called start with that will allow you to create a access control logic in order to just, log out the users if they are not authenticated, like send them to the login page pretty much. That's important. I will do this development with ChatGPT completely. I won't write a line of JavaScript. I will just always ask ChatGPT for everything, so you guys can see, what should be the flow if you don't know how to type JavaScript. I'm not an expert with it. I know the basics, and I write some JavaScript, and I understand pretty good JavaScript, but I'm not good with the syntax, right? So I will just show you that, and then we have here. I didn't show you. We have here uploader. We have this element that it's set up to be hidden, but if I set it to be flex, as you can see, we have that. Not only that, we have an image here, a simple image, but we have a loading state here that you can see. I asked ChatGPT for that, and what I did, I just paste that code here. I will share that code with you guys too. It's right here, just position. We don't even need to set this up right here. Position relative. We just need the loading state here. That's pretty much it. Pretty cool. And I will share that with you guys. So what we're doing here is we're setting this up to be display none, but this is really important. On this element, like that app loader will be set up on every page inside my app dashboard, because all of my pages inside my app dashboard are the pages where you need to be authenticated. So not only that, we in our page settings here in the custom code, we are displaying that app loader to be flexed by default. So even though it doesn't appear here, it will be display flex if I go to the page right here. If I open the app, you can see it's display flex by default. Obviously, I'm not logged in, so I'm getting logged out. Fantastic. That's pretty much the setup. Every single, like the app loader has a with attribute. The error message from the form has as well a with attribute. But let's continue now. So let's see how we have it set it up in Xano. We will talk as well a little bit about security. So let me just show you. So let's just say you don't even have a users table, right? Let's just say you have nothing here. You will add a table. It will be an empty table with an ID and a created ad. Then you will probably want to add these fields like email, full name, password. This won't appear yet. Something else that you want to do, because this is your users table, this is like that table that it will allow you to authenticate people, right, to your site. So you need to go here, click the three dots, go to the settings, and you need to enable the authentication. As you can see, they have a note here. This is normally reserved for the users table. That's how it is. And now from there, really simple. Whenever we are doing, web application development with these tools, the idea is to be as productive as possible and make the best development possible, right, as well. So it's really important whenever you create this type of authentications and you are you're an agency and you might want to reuse it later, please set a private folder with all your snippets. It's as simple as going here, for example, go to I will show you how I got all of these APIs called build dynamically by Xano. But you can go here and you can create a snippet, and then you can reuse it in another web application. It's important for you to reuse functions so you don't lose time rebuilding the same logic, because it's the same literally for this type of APIs. But let's continue. So how did I create all of these APIs manually? Don't look at this. This is something different. Let's just take a look to the auth folder. So what you need to do is go to the marketplace and go to feature, and you will go to user authentication, and you will go here to the magic link with SendGrid. Click there. It will ask you to install an extension, and then you will need to just set it up. It's just a few clicks. Once you have that, it will dynamically create functions for you, like generate JW secret, generate magic link. This will be useful for later, but we won't see it today. And as well, it will create another folder called magic link. I already, I had the endpoints here, but I moved them. If you click on the three dots, you will see at the top of the folder, you will be able to, at the top of the group of APIs, you will be able to move it to another folder. I don't want it here, so I can just delete this. And something, guys, that we need to have in mind, real important, it's the Swagger documentation that Xano creates by default for every folder. This is really important related to security. So let me just show you. I'll go here to Peruna Tools, and then I'll go to my settings. And as you can see, the Swagger open API documentation is enabled. So if I just copy literally this endpoint and I paste it here, I have it right here. All the documentation, every field that I need, the authorization, what do I need to send? It's crazy. So obviously, if you want to share that with a team of front-end developers, yeah, for sure. But we don't want that right now. We are building everything ourselves, so you really want to disable that. Make sure that you have it disabled for all of your folders. The reason why I will show you in a minute, how can we get this base URL from the front end? I will show you that. But let's continue for now. So let's go now to as we were talking, of these API endpoints were created here. And we can just look into the first one, the auth sign up. This is the one that we're looking for. So here we have email and password. What this is doing, first of all, is getting the user with the email, making sure that this user doesn't exist already, because obviously you cannot sign up twice, right? If it already exists, it will show an error message. This account is already in use. You can customize that. And then if it doesn't, it will generate a record. And then we have a function. This is a function created by Xano that allows you to create an authentication token. This is all with the user ID, the table that has the authentication enabled. So it can be any table really, but in this case it's the user, right? And as just well, you can set this, here how long does it last, right? Really important. This is as well really important to security. You want to make sure to set this up to your needs. But obviously this is by default. We don't really change it as long as your API are secure and you are creating, a proper preconditions, asking for the auth token on all of the APIs that need an auth token. But let's continue here. So that's what the function is pretty much doing. We are going to copy now the base URL here. Let's make it simpler. Let's just copy the base URL here. And this is how we're going to do it in Wized. We are going to clone this project or create a new one. So let's just go here and let's create a new one. Let's call it Peruna 2, Peruna Tools 2. We will go here to my site. Just going to copy the URL. Just organize this. Okay, this is how I want it. Space the domain. Let's select the new version of Wized because we're doing this tutorial with Wized v2. I always suggest now to use Wized v2. It's definitely way faster. Let's copy this embed and we will replace the one that we have on the site currently. Let's go to our page settings and we will replace this script. We'll save that. We will publish. You don't need to publish to both domains. You can just publish to the staging one. Now, if we create a project, we should be able to. And now, obviously, with an empty project. So, okay, fantastic. So let's set the logic. So first of all, we want to create our app here, our connection with Xano. So let's just call it here Xano. Let's just call it rest here. So we're going to here paste the base URL from our folder that we just copied. Oh, my mistake. I just copied the embed. So let's just copy the base URL from our folder, paste that up. Fantastic. Now let's continue. So we want to create a request, right? The sign up request. So let's do that. Sign up request. Let's just call it. By the way, let's just use lowercase here and underscore for the spaces. Let's organize this. Let's call it auth. Really important for you guys to be organized here with your folders. The application will be Xano, and we will return the last part of the endpoint. So if we go here to our auth sign up, we can just copy this part right here, go back to Wized and return that. So this will be combined with the base URL. And then it's a post request, we know that. And then on the header, we don't need to set anything. Wized by default will send a JSON application JSON header. And now let's just continue. So what we need to send to the body. So here we need to send email because we have it right here. Email and password, right? Email and password. Here, as we already have already set, we will go first to our, I don't know if I can see it here by default. No, I think I need to go to my sign up page. Fantastic. Now let's say here return, and we will send the email. By the way, this is really simple to select because we have set up the names properly in Webflow. I don't say front end because this is still part of the front end. This is JavaScript that is being run on the browser on the client side. So it's important that you guys are aware that this is part of the front-end development. Now let's continue. We have this email password. Fantastic. Now we have the request. Now we have something to work with. So let's set all of the logic here. So first of all, let's create a folder. This one will be called auth. And now let's create another one where we'll select the auth folder as the parent, and we will create a sign up folder inside of it. So here we have the auth sign up. We will call here run request probably, because we already are, setting a description here to the folder parent, so it should be good then. Element, we will set up the sign up form, the for element that we set an attribute to, and we will create an on event. By the way, guys, we have default events here, but there are so many more events that you can use here. Please, I will probably share the link to where you can see, all of the events that you have on JavaScript. As I said, we will do everything with ChatGPT here, so you guys can do the same probably on your end, not only in this case, but in any Wized project that you need for. So we have that. We will prevent the default because we don't want that submission, the Webflow submission form. We don't want to refresh the form because we will redirect the user after we have been authenticated. And probably if they set it, yeah, but let's just continue. Here we can do perform request, sign up, as simple as that. So if we click here, so you can see this is required in Webflow. Important you set that up to be required. But let's continue. So we have the sign up. We are running our request, but I want to not only do that, I want as well set the loading state to the button. Loading state. So we'll do element here, sign up form button. We will do set class. We will want to toggle this class according to this condition. So this set class is remove or add, literally. You don't need to set the class to the element. This will just be a toggle. If this condition is true or false, if it's true, it will add the class. If it's false, it will remove the class. Not remove, but it won't add it, right? So that's why you don't want to add that by default in Webflow. So we will say here return if the sign up request is requesting, it's happening. Fantastic, we have that. And now, not only that, let's just do something else here. We have that, we want to as well show the error message. So we will do that in a second here. So let's just do here. And then after that, we will do the redirect. Let's just sign up here. Let me just set a password. As we can see, we have the loading state already. And if I take a look to my sign up request, oh, I already have a user with this. Oh, this is fantastic. So normally it would have worked. I would have gotten the data. I already had a user with this. I forgot to clear the database whenever I was testing it. But this account is already in use. So we probably, we already got that error message. So we can probably work on the action here. So let's do here error message, sign up form error. We will set first of all, let's set the display. Oh, set a style, forgive me. And then we can set the style that we want to set to the element. This is any CSS property that you can imagine. Then we will do return. We can say if message doesn't equal null, then probably we want to show it, right? So we want to return block. Otherwise, we just want to return none. So if this condition right here, if this is not true, this return won't work at all. It will be the next one. So that's pretty much how you set it. Now we have that set the display, and now as you can see, we have the error message already being displayed. We don't need to refresh the page with Wized v2. So we can set the text, plain text, and we can just get the error message from here literally. So we can just say return and the error message. You can see we already have it. This account is already in use. Fantastic. Let's continue. So we have that. We have the error message. Now we just want to redirect if it's successful, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear my database here. Let's just clear it. Clear our records. Fantastic. And now we are going to just sign up. The error message disappeared because probably it was a successful request. So as you can see, we got the auth token. This auth token is what is going to allow us to load the user. This is the auth token that we will send on the headers of our API requests. Really important that we need to save that in a cookie. So now we will just do an after request action here. After request, we will do event, not element anymore, because we're just waiting for this request to finish, the sign up. We're going to set a conditional here that the sign up return here if has requested and status equals to 100. So if these two conditionals are true, then it will return true. If one of them fails, it will be false. So that's what we're looking for here. Now, after we have a successful sign up, what we want to do? Well, first we want to set a cookie here. This is an empty project, so let's just create a cookie here. It will be auth token. You can set the lifetime here. This is on the front end, but as well as you remember, we have as well, how long does an auth token works on the back end too. So, we can control both places, like the front end and the back end. It's really important that you have that flexibility. But let's continue here. We're just going to return the value that we just got from that API request. Let me just, if I can just get it here. Auth token right here. Fantastic. And not only that, we want to then navigate the user to the dashboard page. So we can say return, and let me take a look to my dashboard page here. App dash booking. So we'll just copy that. We'll paste it here. We are going to remove the base part of the URL, right? We just want the folders and the page inside it. So so that's pretty much how you set it. But now, before I continue here, I'm just going to set a conditional if, or we can say return cookie. The cookie that we are setting doesn't equal null, so it means that cookie has been already set. This is just for security in case something fails here, but it's just an extra step that might not be necessary, but I just want to set it up. So let's go back here to our sign up page. Okay. Now I could clear the database again. So let's just do it. You know what? Let's just do it. Because now we will be redirected to the page. So now let's just set our details, set the password. Let's sign up. We have the loading state, and now we are being sent to this page where we have this element being displayed, but we need to do some extra logic here. So we have been authenticated. We have set up the auth token. Now the user is logged in pretty much. And now let's just set up the logic here. So we need to first create the access control, but before that we need to load the user here. So let's just do it. So let's create a new request here. By the way, whenever you set that snippet from Xano, it will as well generate this auth.me API that we will use. So this auth.me pretty much is just asking for as you can see here, this API has an authentication required. So it means that you need to set the authorization bearer token with it. With that, you will just get the record from your user. So let's just do that. So let's just copy this part right here. This is a GET request. We'll go here in Wized. We will do load user. By the way, use always, as I said, lowercase and underscores. Folder auth application Xano. It will set the last part of our endpoint here, auth.me. The method will be get, and the only thing that we need to set, and this is authorization. Wized has some options here. You can set anything here as well. Wized has some predefined options, but you can set so many things here. So authorization, and you will say here, return you can say only your token, but this is not the proper way that you will normally do it, you know, if you weren't here in Wiz. You need to say bearer space, and you need to add then that token. You can as well, as I say, you can send the cookie by itself, but ideally you will add the bearer because this is how it properly works. You know, this is globally for every single API request or modern API request where it's requested like the bearer token. You need to add this string bearer. Let's continue here. We have that, and let's just run it. Fantastic, it worked. So let's continue. So let's set it up. So first of all, we want to, when do we run that request? So we will do here, create a new folder called load user. Select the parent folder to be the auth. Now let's select this and let's call it as well trigger request, right? Type, event trigger will be page starts loading. We can set as well the custom condition. Let's just set it to be custom condition. So we want to load the user on every page that has the app on it. So what we can do is there is a, let's just use ChatGPT for it. So let's just go here and let's literally log into ChatGPT. Hey, I want to run a function, let's just call it function, whenever the page in has the path app. So they will type a lot of JavaScript, like it will type a lot of JavaScript here, but we will pretty much will just need the path here. So this function, where is it? Oh no, let's say whenever, let's just say whenever the URL, the path starts with path. Oh, I just said it should have been app. And this is the function that we need to start with, because we cannot handle, you know, the names here inside these folders. Like we don't know what are we going to build, so we just want the first part of it. So let's just do, let's just get this part right here. And now we will go here back to Wiz. So we will paste it here and we will say return. We will replace this path name here with the end navigation path that we have here. As you can see, Wiz already has for you the path of your site. So as you can see, we can use that. So if this path starts with dash app, it should be true, right? You can see it is. So fantastic, we can continue that. We have that, and now we have the condition that is true. So after that is true, we want to perform a request. And this will be a load user, right? We probably want to add another conditional here to load the user, not only if it's the path, but as well if the cookie is not null. Cookie doesn't equal null. Or we can say as well doesn't equal empty. See, this is true again, so it will load the user for sure whenever this page starts loading. So what else? So once we have that, we can create now the access control and as well the state of this loader here. So let's first now go here. Let's do loader display. So that to element, I already have set an attribute to that element, app loader. I don't want to invest time on it on the tutorial because it's a long tutorial. We can do here set style, display, and we can do some logic here. If the cookie equals null, or no, we just need to set up the, if it's, because it's by default set to be flex. So if load user, let me just remove all of this. If, what do we have here? Okay, if low user has requested and status code equals 200, then we want to return flex. Sorry, none. Otherwise, we want to return flex. Fantastic, cool. So you can see it disappeared. And not only that, now we can as well create the access control. This is pretty cool. Access control event custom conditions. So once again, this is the same custom condition. End part starts with -app. So if our if our URL starts with -app, sorry, we want to trigger something here. So we want to navigate the user to the login page, probably return to the dash login page. But there has to be a conditional for that. So we will do conditional if the cookie equals null, then we definitely want, because it means that you don't haven't even passed through the sign up or the login. So if the cookies equal null, or if the cookie equals empty, we want to return true. We want to redirect you, right? Otherwise as well, we want to as well, if the load user has requested and the status doesn't equal 200, then we want to say the same as well, return true. That's pretty much it. So we have two conditions there. That's fantastic. That's what we needed. And now, if we go to the sign up page, and let's just sign up with another email here. As you can see, we were loaded and we weren't redirected. But if now let's set up the login, because I have it ready to show you that. Let's just go here. I could probably create another folder here. I just want to keep it, I just don't want to keep too many actions in one folder. Logout here, logout. We'll call it literally logout. Element, logout. And this is how you set it, really simple. So on event, click. The first thing we want to do is prevent default if it's a link or whatever. And then we want to set a cookie, select the auth token and return it as null. We want to set it to be null. Not only that, we want to, on event, once again, click. We want to navigate the user to the login page, probably. Not only that, but as well, we want to make sure that the cookie, it's null. Because if it's not null, we don't want to send them yet to the login page. Obviously, this is a extra condition that I want to set here, but it's just for security. So if I click here, I'm being logged out. And if I want to go back to it, that's fantastic. You don't even see the content and you're automatically logged out. That's how you set it up. And let me just show you something really important. How can we look into the Swagger documentation? So let's, for the second here, access control. Let's just remove here the name for a second. Let's disable that. And let's go back to our request here. Let's go to, what is it? It's app, right? App my bookings. And not only I will go to that page, what is going on here? Is it going to take me there? Just going to the preview, it doesn't matter. As you can see, I'm not redirected anymore. And let's do something else as well. I just want to show you this because it's important related to the security. So when are we running this load user request? So trigger request if the path perform request. So we just want to, let's remove as well this conditional here. Let's just remove it. let's just set it to be here. I'm just going to paste it again, but I'm just going to say return true. And as well, I'm just going to keep this here. This won't run, the first one will run, so it will load the user by default. So if I go here to this page, I inspect the site, and I go to my network, and make sure I have cleared this out, and I refresh the page. You can see, I can see all the requests here. And let me just take a look here to my load user request, because I can probably find it. Just type load user. Right here, it's called me. And as you can see, I got access to it. If I go to the headers of this request, look at this, I got the base URL. So if I go here and I paste this and I just remove the path and I go there, obviously it's disabled right now, so that's great. But let's say if I go to Xano here and then I go to my folder, settings, I enable that and I save it. And I refresh this page right here. So I just got access to all of your APIs, to, you know, how you're doing every single request. I got all the documentation to do anything I want. So it's really important you guys disable that. If you don't need it, make sure that you are protecting all of your APIs. I hope you guys like this tutorial.